Bonjour mes amis, hi guys. I was feeling a bit down on Monday and decided to go to my usual little Japanese watch reseller small shop that I know of, and I picked up not one but two watches, starting with this childhood dream classic, the Casio Illuminator as I call it. Such a cool little watch, and it wears actually so well. Although I picked it up for my son mainly, I might just end up wearing it above all my other watches. Really sharp, and I'm gonna give you a little wrist shot of this classic. If you grew up in the late 70s, early 80s, you would remember this watch fondly. This was the unobtainable dream back then, and now $30 seems like nothing. But such a cool little watch. Now, more seriously, the shop happened to have a few of the latest releases from Seiko, including this 55th anniversary Seiko diver's watch, which I had dismissed a little bit because of the size of the bezel, which is a bit overpowering compared to the original version. But I have to say, when I saw this blue dial, yes, grayish blue, uh, that did it for me. It was really good looking, and the bezel, I'm not sure if it's aluminium or it's actually steel. It has a good shine to it, and I like the font used on it as well. And I checked the alignment, it was perfect. So SPB149 is the reference. So this is the limited edition, 5,500. They are numbered, as you will see later in the video, and it comes with a bracelet and with a very nice, super soft silicone strap, the new kind. The bracelet looks a lot like the one from my Willard. It looks like the same handling, doesn't look too bad, but doesn't look really at home with this watch. It's very noisy. It has the same big clasp with the diver's extension. Everything is held up by pins, which might explain the rattle. They are comfortable bracelets, but I think this watch is really made to be worn on the strap. So I'm going to change it quickly, just give you a little wrist shot for reference of what it looks like on the bracelet. I think it's a bit too much metal here on this look, but already you can see that the watch fits really well on the wrist. It's a very compact, very petite. Big change from the if you're used to the sumos or the big turtles. This one, like the Willard, is really well proportioned. Now let's peel off the sticker at the back. So as you can see, the case back is numbered, and you have the actual number. So unlike sometimes high-end brands which tell you that it is one of a certain number, here they go through the trouble of actually numbering, stamping each watch, which means that they can't make more than the 5,500. Because sometimes it's a bit dodgy when you're told it's one of a certain amount, and doesn't stop the brand from producing less or more. Of course, for Seiko, 5,500 is not too much. So let's try this super soft strap using just the classic tool. And there you go. The look is complete. I really like the both sides of the strap. And here it is on the wrist. The blue really complements the dial really well. And it's not too thick, about 13 millimeters. But definitely they went from, it's a slight departure from the classic look. Although as the marketing presents it, the center of gravity is lower on this watch, which is sporting the 6R35 movement, so 3 hertz, but 70 hours of power reserve. So far, it's running pretty good, just gaining a few seconds since last night. So here is the look on the wrist, and I really like the choice here of the crystal sapphire. There is anti-reflecting coating, reflective coating. The choice of hands is really excellent, and you can see there's a bit of a gap there between the bezel and the case itself. Obviously, it would be a bit maybe too near to the crown if it was lower, but this bezel does sit high and proud, and It's visually quite dominant, which you know you might like or not. It's a different look, I think, from the 62 MAS, of which this watch is sort of an anniversary of, but in a modern reinterpretation. If you want the real thing, you're gonna go for the SLA versions. 2 years ago there was the black one, really nicely made, and this year they did the SLA 037, I believe, the blue one, and you'll see right there a thinner bezel and a much more vintage look, obviously being a much more faithful reproduction. This is a reinterpretation. Interesting case here with the squared inner lugs there. And the case sides are beautiful. So it's you have a high polish line, and you have brushed sides and on the top of the lugs as well. You can see here it wears great with jeans and the black polo shirt. Just perfect outfit to have this watch. So let's go for a few beauty shots for you. You can see the AR coating there in action as I'm shooting this inside. Now let's have a look at it on with a bit more natural light. Just fits really well. Feels really at home. The little minder so far, it's holding well in this new type of strap, which I had not experienced before. And of course, this watch, the non-limited edition, comes in different colors: the black one, the slightly gold one. You can see here that the high polish, really beautiful line running along the case. There's not really any crown guard, but just a slight difference in the shape of on the side, on the right side of the watch. Again, you can see quite the depth of the watch, but on the wrist, the underside is going to tend to vanish, making the watch wear, I guess, slimmer than you would imagine. And here it is next to the Tudor Black Bay, which is honestly the perfect watch. If you have the budget for it, do not hesitate. Really, we should compare the SLA 37 with the Tudor Black Bay to have something fair. But for the same money, I would rather have the Tudor. So yeah, I wasn't expecting to pick up one of these versions, but the blue dial, being limited, I have to say, just looked fantastic in the shop, and I'm enjoying this for what it is, a cool Seiko. So you can see on the website all the details. This is the Big Daddy with the new movement 8L55, closer to Grand Seiko specs. This is the original 62 MAS. And moving on to the reinterpretation, as I was mentioning, of the watch for the 55th anniversary. You can see the departures from the original. They mentioned the center of gravity is lower, the profile is slim, caliber 6R35, 70 hours of power reserve. So let's look a bit more in detail at the spec of the SPB149, still from the Seiko website. Again, Seiko got me. every month there's something else with them. USD 1350. I paid around 1200, so actually I got a slight discount there. Although I thought I would have to pay more at the shop there, which is sort of a reseller. Lumibright on the watch, 200 meters of water resistance, 13 millimeter by 40. The length is 47 millimeters, so the perfect size. Really, it could be a bit thinner. I think with the bezel and all that. But all in all, just a lovely watch. Here is the Lume classic Seiko Lumibright, just working fantastic on the watch as well. And another beauty shot. You can see that everything lines up really well, and especially the bezel, which probably is my only diver ever that lines up perfectly. The bezel is a bit mushy when you turn it. Not as good as the Willard. The click is not as as precise, a bit more vague, but at least it lines up perfectly. And I really like the choice of the hands and the choice of every index. Really, it's a great release. Sort of in between, the Sumo and the more expensive models. So there you go. We'll go back to this watch. We'll compare it with other watches. But for now, I leave you with this. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.